Well, good thirsty Thursday morning, friends. Mark Holmes here. Of course, with my buddy Cowboy Joe Booth, as well as Joe Bear in the house. And as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. So let's get open for business and let's wake up the football gods. My God, tomorrow night, New Year's Eve. It is the last day of 2021, and we're going to do something special here. Now that there's beginning to be a lot of cancellation of flights and activities and things like that, my wife actually made the suggestion. She said, you ought to do a live stream to bring in the new year, and we're going to do just that. So I'm still working out the details, but tomorrow night, somewhere between, say, 10 and 11, haven't set on time yet, but we're going to start a live stream, and what we're going to do is channel members will be able to Zoom in and be part of the call. We'll do it as a live stream so everybody can participate, but we're going to do something a little extra for the channel members as well, so that way we can all toast and have a drink together and look forward to 2022. For the Cowboys, 2021, it's actually been a pretty good year after what was an abysmal 2020. And we are headed for the playoffs. We have the Cardinals this weekend, and hopefully we get a win. But looking a little bit ahead, and maybe I shouldn't do this, the thing I want to just start thinking about is that kryptonite that is the Green Bay Packers. Do the Dallas Cowboys have a chance against Aaron Rodgers and that Green Bay Packer team? The funny thing is, we've all heard about, Green Bay is playing so great, and Green Bay, of course, with Aaron Rodgers. Aaron Rodgers, let's be clear, is always playing great. Aaron Rodgers, there's no quarterback like him. And with Aaron Rodgers, he's always been the thorn in the side of a team that always seems to find a way to beat us in the playoffs. No matter how good we do, it's that last few seconds that Aaron Rodgers just seems to make that killer back-breaking pass that beats you. But as I'm looking at the numbers and statistics, we had an opportunity to get the number one seed. Had the Cleveland Browns been smart enough to do what was working, the Green Bay Packers defense the last 4 weeks has been kind of abysmal. In fact, if we look at the statistics here, the numbers on where Green Bay is, if you didn't know that that was Green Bay and you looked at the numbers and say scoring offense at their 13th, yardage 15th, and defensively that they're 13th in scoring defense and 11th in yards and 6th in taking the football away, that doesn't look like the best team in football, statistically at least. And when you think that the Cleveland Browns were able to rush for 8.5 yards per play, it was Baker Mayfield's 4 interceptions that killed him. And even with that, they only lost by 2 points. It is unfathomable to me that on a night that your quarterback has thrown 3 interceptions and you are averaging 8.5 yards per run with 3 timeouts left, 1:08 on the clock, you're at midfield. You're at midfield and only need a field goal to win. And you decide to pass the ball the next 3 plays, which lead to an interception. Why would you put it into the quarterback's hands? That was a turnover machine. So the question is, what can the Cowboys do to beat the Green Bay Packers? The thing about the Green Bay Packers is, like I just pointed out, you can run the football. So, of course, we're going to need a healthy Tony Pollard and a healthy Zeke, because that will make all the difference in the world. But even beyond that, here's another little interesting tad bit. During this last 4-game win streak that the Packers have had, they've given up 340 yards of offense to the opposition every week, and they gave up 408 yards to the Minnesota Vikings the last time they played them. That's a lot. The Vikings beat them, of course, in Minneapolis. So it's not a gimme that Minnesota fighting for its playoff life isn't going to give Green Bay a great game. I believe that they will. I don't know if they'll beat them or not because, of course, the Packers are playing for that home field advantage. They want to make that Super Bowl go through Green Bay. The other thing that Green Bay has been susceptible to, and it's a good thing that we actually saw some of this last week against the Washington football team, is quarterback set run. The Green Bay Packers have given up more yards to quarterbacks than any other team. More yards to quarterbacks set run, from Lamar Jackson to Jimmy Garoppolo to Kyler Murray. That if you have that quarterback that can do those RPOs, it is going to really put that defense on an island. And that's really how you'll just be able to just run away with this game. Dak is going to need to be able to run against the Green Bay Packers. He will be the key, because if he can get a couple of good runs in there, then you're now putting the cornerbacks on an island. Do they come up and try and stop Dak with the run? And if they do, it's an easy drop right there to a wide open wide receiver. But the defense is the Achilles heel of the Green Bay Packers. Without a doubt. That's how you get to them. The other part that I will look at and say, and this is where, my last night's video, I talked about the Cowboys. When you think about the injury front, we've lost a lot of players throughout the season. But it's enabled us to get younger guys to get experience. And now the veterans are back. And as you see, DeMarcus Lawrence, who, since he's come back, has got a couple of sacks and like 10 tackles. He only played week 1. And he seems to be a man on a mission right now to go ahead and get to that promised land. He's 29 years old. When you start getting to be up there in that age and knowing that your contract, you don't know how many more years you have with opportunities to get that ring. So you start realizing your own mortality. And I think that's where you are with D-Law. And the fact that his body hasn't had that pounding of every single week is going to bode well. You've got a Randy Gregory who's got 6 sacks on the season, who's been in and out of the lineup as well, who's trying to get that contract. He is on a mission as well. And then, of course, Micah Parsons, who, of course, is trying to get Defensive Player of the Year. And how crazy is it? I want you to just think about this for a second. If you take DeMarcus Lawrence's 2 sacks so far this year, if you take his 6.5 sacks last year, and you take his 5 sacks a year before, that's only a half a sack more than what Micah Parsons has done this year. That's crazy. That's insane that a rookie who's a part-time edge rusher / linebacker has gotten that many. We are truly blessed to have gotten Micah Parsons. And when you think about Chase Young's last year Defensive Player of the Year being the beast and everything else, the game changer, he has literally blown what Chase Young did out the water. That's the next part of the equation. The Dallas Cowboys defense, which has gotten healthy, which has a ferocious pass rush between Micah Parsons, D-Law, Randy Gregory, Tristan Hill, Neville Gallimore, O.C., Carlos Watkins, Goldston, that can throw wave after wave. It's going against the Green Bay Packers offensive line that's been kind of beat up. And I'm going to throw one more interesting statistic out here for you guys. The Dallas Cowboys, we look at Aaron Rodgers and say Aaron Rodgers is playing head and shoulders above Dak Prescott. But Dak Prescott can't carry his jockstrap, right? Dak Prescott's coming off of a slump. Aaron Rodgers has been Mr. Consistency all season. It's kind of funny that the Green Bay Packers are averaging 25.5 points a game. And little old Dak Prescott, they're averaging 30.5 points a game. Go figure. So let's see what the conversation is. Oh, before I get to the conversation, I love getting letters from you guys. It's really, really cool when I read some of these things. In fact, I shared this with my wife, and she literally teared up. You know, a lot of times you get people that are always out there to try and bring you down or hating on you and just doing just nasty shit. But it's people like El Boogie that really lift you up. Good morning, Mark. I'm sitting here and I watched your fireside chat about John Madden and thinking, how in the hell can a person not like this guy? I mean, for you, you're real. Yeah, okay, times I can see that certain comments seem delusional, but we all are at times. Do you know I get up in the morning, make coffee, and drink my coffee with you during the morning video? You take a sip, I take a sip. A sip, laugh out loud. But you're really a good dude, Mark. You make me look differently at life. And for some reason, you make me feel like everything is going to be okay no matter what. I look at certain situations and I say, what would Mark do? Anyway, laugh out loud. Always keep up the good work, Mark. You're my brother. See you in the morning, God willing. Well, El Boogie, take a sip, buddy. My wife even said, you need to be more consistent about the time you put out your video, because you don't want him waiting until 11 o'clock to have his coffee. You need to make sure you get your ass up and get these videos out. So thanks, El Boogie. Now you got me on a regular clock here. So let's hear what the experts have to say about the Cowboys and Packers if they were to meet up.
Right, so Marcus making it very clear he's not ranking his beloved Cowboys over the Packers. So Neek, who do you think is the best team in the NFC? Is it Dallas or Green Bay? Should we make Marcus eat his words?
Yeah, I mean, I think we should. So I was with Marcus, I think, yesterday morning. And then
put your mic on first before you start
show,
talking crazy.
Oh, it's not on? Oh, there it is. It's right here. Here it is.
Put your mic on, man.
We're having all types of mishaps right now.
Before you start this dribble.
That's a bad start. I can't win this debate when I don't even got a mic.
Broadcast media isn't the only one that messes up.
I was with you until I started researching for this show today. And it made me think, you know, as a defensive lineman, not only as a former Cowboy and someone who claims he loves the team, you know what you need in the playoffs is a front four that can get after the passer. You need that on defense, and you need an offense that can put up points. We have seen this offense put up points. They have quite possibly the best three pass rushers that you can find. Forget the fourth. Throw anybody out there. I'm going to be unblocked if you put me at nose tackle, because they're going to have to double Gregory, Lawrence, and then if they put Micah over the guard, it's going to be insane. That is the difference maker. And in the back end, those Trayvon Diggs will give up some big plays. If you throw it in his direction too many times, he's going to come down with it. If you're under pressure, throwing up passes, I think that is the difference maker. I do understand Aaron Rodgers is having an incredible season, another one. That offense is outstanding. But given that the Packers have come off of two very disappointing games, they won both of them, but they were in a dogfight with the Browns, who are none of us think are all that good. The week prior, they barely beat the Ravens. They could have lost if they would have gotten the 2-point conversion. And the Ravens are, I mean, they're fielding guys out of anywhere to start in their secondary just about now. And they are slumping now in a way, but we're not looking at them that way because they managed to win those games. I think at this moment, it feels like the Packers have reached their peak, and it feels like the Cowboys are still getting better. And the defense, particularly that pass rush, is going to be a difference maker in the playoffs, because you can't scheme around that. There is no scheme that will protect you if you cannot drop back to pass and feel comfortable.
I hate you. I hate you, Foxy. I hate that.
Should I come back with the
You're going
mic?
to butter me up about my team. You're going to butter up my team and make me feel good about it and try to get me to switch over. But I'm not going to do it because I'm convicted right now about the Green Bay Packers. Listen, the level of consistency, man, from this offense is the reason why I'm still on the Green Bay Packers. We have not seen them have these issues that we saw Dallas have for a number of weeks, even in some wins. Like, the Washington football team win a couple weeks ago, no, that's a win, but great. I can't get with that after what we saw previously. Now, this past weekend, started to get a little bit of hope, started to think that this offense is going to reascend. But one thing I know about the Green Bay Packers, they not going to really struggle offensively. And I understand what you're saying about Dallas' defensive line, but I've seen Aaron Rodgers enough overcome being deficient a number of times this season in order for me to still think that this is the best team in the NFC fully healthy. Now, listen, when you look at how we go forward, all right, here's the two things that I want people to think about and the reason why right now I have Green Bay. Green Bay went on the road against Arizona. Dallas about to play Arizona. But Green Bay went there without any of their wide receivers and was able to devise a game plan to beat a team that we thought at that time was the best team in the NFL without Devontae Adams, Lazard, and all of their requisite weapons offensively. The second part of that is when we look at this from a defensive standpoint, yeah, I've hated the way the run game has materialized. But Green Bay turning the football over too offensively. They creating takeaways on defense as well. I think Rashawn Gary has been a phenomenal pass rusher. Kenny Clark in the middle. They may get Zadarius back, Jair Alexander. So right now, Foxy, and it's paining me to say this, but I got to be real. Like a lot of people get it misconstrued. Charlie didn't introduce me as the damn Dallas Cowboy cheerleader. Sometimes I hate first.
I had to.
Because y'all want to set me up y'all want to set me up to look like. But I keep it honest. The Dallas Cowboys, to me, right now, are the third best team because I haven't consistently seen the offense at the level in which I think they can. On the other hand, I know Green Bay going to put points on the board. They haven't been sluggish all season long, and they got the best player in the league at the best position this particular year.
Yeah, you're right. But, it's not like Dallas isn't getting back Tyron Smith also. So we're getting back people on Dallas also that are going to make an impact. But I do think that the inconsistency of Dallas's offense, it's something. I'm not saying it's irrelevant. They seem to come back from it. They seem comfortable now. But maybe you're right. But it's not like the Packers haven't been inconsistent on defense. They had us believing for a second that they could play defense. In the last couple weeks, it has not been impressive against bad teams. Those 4 interceptions against Baker Mayfield, I think some of those are Baker's fault. And you saw them able to run the ball at will against the Packers. I think that's going to be an issue. So we're obviously splitting hairs. I don't think you would be shocked if the Cowboys beat the Packers. I wouldn't be shocked if the Packers beat the Cowboys. But if I have to look at this and give,
I want them
yeah, I know. But I have to look at this and give an honest appraisal. And I know you always going to be honest. I know you're not speaking with your heart. And I know that you aren't just trying to protect yourself. Maybe a little bit. You try to protect yourself from the pain of believing in this. But if you look at these two teams, I think there are more holes on the Packers defense than there are on either the offense or the defense of the Cowboys. I think there are holes in that defense.
I'd agree.
And if the Cowboys continue this offensive, I want to call it an ascent, but it's not. Frankly, it's a regression back to what they were. Like, they were great on offense. They had a few weeks where they weren't great. Yeah. Coming off of an injury of Dak. Now, I would understand if we couldn't explain some of their offensive setbacks, but Dak got
struggles.
Hurt. He's coming back from that injury. He's starting to feel a little better. That's the story that I'm going to believe because it seems like it lines up more with all of a sudden he just forgot how to play. They're going to get Tyron Smith back. I really do believe in this Cowboys team a little bit more than I do in the Packers right now.
So you think that the Cowboys can go further in the playoffs than the Packers?
Yeah, I do, Charlie.
Okay. I want to do one more thing here before we get out of here. I want you to, we keep hearing about inconsistency on the Dallas Cowboys offense. I want to point out something here. This is, you see the yellow line right here. This is from worst to first scoring games that the Cowboys had. They had 9 points against Kansas City. That was their worst. Denver, 16. Minnesota, 20. The Chargers, 20. Mind you, Minnesota and Chargers were both wins. The Giants 21, and then 27 or more in games. We seem to hear like the Packers are a juggernaut. But let's take a look. They've had some bad games there too. They scored 3 against New Orleans, only 7 against Kansas City. Now, I believe Aaron Rodgers was out that game. But they only scored 17 against the Seahawks. The Seahawks defense is atrocious. They scored 22 against the Browns, and the Browns really should have won that one. And they scored 24 against the Cardinals, 24 against Washington, 24 against the Bears. So when you talk about offensive consistency, I can't look and say that constantly every single game that there weren't any games that they were not consistent. You scored 3, 7, or 17 points. That's not what you expect from Aaron Rodgers. In fact, you look at the grouping there, the grouping of most of the numbers are all in the mid-20s. But then again, what do I know? I'm a guy with a day job and a voodoo doll. And with that being said, we're going to get up out of here. Hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon.
Our coach here, and as always, I want to thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the show.